Hello, welcome back. It's been a while, and there's gonna be a couple changes, but that's all, really. I mean, besides trying to do something different, maybe even up the quality a little bit, I feel bad about being inconsistent with my uploads. So that's why I need to, like, you get the motivation to do stuff. It's probably more down to a fundamental level of, like, me just not wanting to do something, but I want to get through that and continue doing this and other stuff I want to do. It's I don't know why, but the only way to explain it is just it's tough. I sound like I'm complaining. I'm not trying to. It's just weird, I guess. You know, I would liken it back to, like, if you're a little kid and you're a little bit smart, you could understand and pick up on concepts for math pretty easily. And so you would do that without having to really study to get through, the grades and the classes and all the other important stuff. But when you get older, it doesn't become as easy. It gets harder, slowly but surely, until you get to the point where you're no longer an A student. You're more of like a B student and then a C student. And then you kind of just stay there until eventually you become complacent and you just want to just not put in the effort because you're so used to not doing that it's just become a horrible habit. And I believe that's probably one of the habits that I have gotten. I'm not trying to say that, I am extremely smart because I'm not. I would say that the fact is when I grew up, the way that I learned things was inherently wrong. And the way that I did things was wrong. So that led to me doing stuff wholeheartedly or half-heartedly. I mean, yeah, half-heartedly. Not always 100% effort, and usually just iffy. Thus, worse grades and all the other negatives that come with the fact of getting better grades. And just not very caring much for things besides the entertainment that you get. Because, you know, I play video games every day, actually, usually. And I don't really do anything with that. Besides, every once in a while I stream or I do the odd like YouTube video by like uploading archives. I've only done like 5 or 6 actual videos, one of which being one of mine and the other my friends because I just don't have the, I guess, patience to go through stuff. And that just sucks because I want to get better. And it's like forming new habits are so hard to do, especially ones that have been like forged for such a long time. You just feel uncomfortable with the entire idea. And I'm not saying that I'm going to continue doing what I usually do. I want to change and get better and stay better and keep on improving. Because when people get complacent, just they become worse. So the goal is to never be complacent in what you do. And that's a very hard goal to set. And I know that it might not be entirely achievable, but I just hope that I can do it realistically and, improve bit by bit until I get to a point where I don't have to feel uncomfortable about putting in more work about something that I want to do. It's an odd thought, really, because you would think when you have things you want to do, it would make you motivated to want to do them, but you just you just don't do them. You get sidetracked, or you just don't have the effort that you want to put into a project, unless you know. For me, I would say that that doesn't entirely apply if I have a person in the project with me. I would say that I am pretty like hardworking and a go getter in that aspect. And I would say that's probably one of the only good things with the type of effort I put in. Because I would say I put in double the effort when there's people, but half of the effort when it's just me. And that sucks. I want to put in double the effort across the board and get stuff done. Because who wouldn't want to get stuff done? Whether it be just a chore that you have to do that'll take time, you complete it faster than you expect, or finishing something you've been working on for a long time. For me, when I did the video uh that I worked on, I spent about 5 hours. Not really. No, I would say maybe 3 or 4, because I had to learn from the basics of like cutting and then stitching stuff together, and then trying to learn new concepts. All for a video that was about 15 minutes long. So about 3 hours of work into a 15-minute video. And that sounds like, oh, I put in a lot of effort. In reality, it was a pretty shit video, in my opinion. There's a lot that I could have done to make it better, but I didn't, because I didn't put in the time and effort. I got complacent. I did like the first like half of the time I spent on it was the first day that I did it, and then the other half was the other days of the week of that week. And then I stopped, and then came back, spent like 1 hour on it, and then uploaded it. And you can see that the quality was not up to par. And it sucks. I don't like it when that happens. And I want to learn more about how to edit better. So I'm gonna try and do something different today. I'm going to, you know, try and work on a new video, unprompted, without any suggestions or help, and see how I do. Because I want to show to myself that I can change and that I can do better. Because that's what I really want. I want to improve and do better and finish things that I set my mind to. Now that's not always like going to happen. And I can't put unrealistic expectations on myself, but wanting to finish a project I've been working on for like a year is at the very top of my to-do list. But in order to do that, I need to set up a plan and start like talking and formulating an idea or a strategy. So the plan is to message the friend that I recorded the video with and audio. Audio is not too good because we didn't have any mics. Video is pretty good because he had a pretty good camera. I would say that overall the footage was great. It was just going to be 2 hours. So the first couple of hours, it's just gonna be me and him, looking through footage and picking the best takes of what we've done. Because it doing like the process of making the video was so fun. It was gotta be my one of my first favorite experiences while doing something with a friend. Because creating something together and finding cool solutions to problems is fun. And then unexpected things that happen while you try and create what you're trying to create. For instance, while we were doing a shot next to a dumpster by a Goodwill, the police were called because they thought that I was injured, because I had put ketchup on myself, and my friends, two of them, were recording, and just the other one was supervising to make sure that the guy was recording well. And a policeman snuck up on us and was like, "Get away from him," and all that. I'm like, "Dude, this is a video. I'm perfectly fine." All that, and he had his hand on his waist, because you know he's serious if you do that, because you don't know what situation. But still, it's a scary thought that he could have pulled out his gun or anything. I've had similar things happen recently with that, but that last uh thing I talked about just recording, and he just snuck up on us. It was pretty funny in hindsight, but at the time it was very scary. Actually, after he was talking to us, there was an ambulance that came into the parking lot. So they really thought like stuff happened. And yeah. It was funny. A funny thing. I'm excited because I have all these ideas that I want to do. Well, not all of them are like good. I know at least I can work something in and maybe bounce some ideas off to get at least a foundation of what's going on. The video that I was going to do with a friend that I am gonna pester him about. It's a kind of like half and half type thing where it's about music, but then in between the different music parts that I talk about, there's gonna be skits. So I will um start off with like an introduction, uh get to a certain part, like a certain song, finish that up, and then go directly into some skits after that is done, and then I go to the next song, and then do some skits, and then I uh do the last song, and then finish it off with some skits. Actually, yeah, something. Finish it off with skits, and then maybe a little something at the end, like, "Oh, thank you for watching." And that's gonna be the first real video. Because originally the concept was going to be a YouTube channel with me and my friend, and if we get a video out every year, I do not think that it's going to do much. So I might try and pester him into doing another video with me as I like work or figure out solutions to props and such. Because we need we need this stuff done. It's important. The video that I want to work on though is gonna be something different. I'm going to try and get some footage from when I streamed on Twitch, and I believe the footage is pretty well done. Like there's no issue with the connection while I streamed that day, so I don't have to worry on that end. It's just having to make sure the audio is good and make it sort of a highlight video instead of a over edited video that I've done before, well, at least guess get the best bits, and then maybe put some stuff in if I really want to, because it sounds like a good idea, and I have a good thing that I could pick for the video. And the only thing I need to do is to just get that stuff done and locked and loaded. Hmm. I was gonna do something, but I completely forgot. I was talking about YouTube, blah blah blah. Oh my god. Oh well. Stuff happens, and I like to spew a bunch of crap. Life. Hmm. There's something on the tip of my tongue that I want to say, but I cannot, for the life of me, figure out what I'm thinking about. Which is so weird to say, because, I mean, I'm sure some people can relate to the fact of there's something that you just thought about that you really wanted to talk about, but you just cannot figure it out for the life of you. Yeah. I guess that's a symptom of short attention spans and such. It just happens. I cannot wait to have an attention span of a goldfish. Be a fantastic time. World peace, even. Hmm. Dang it, I'm still thinking about something, but it's like on the edge of my mind. There's something that I need to think about. It is what exactly? Gosh dang. Hmm. How about something like budget wise? Oh, okay. Well, I remembered one thing that I was trying to do. Okay. Oh, well, those aren't bad. I thought these were gonna be a lot worse. Oop, take a look at this. Yeah, that's perfect. Hmm. I'm not sure if that's good. I'll just check that out. Go to checkout for this just to look at it. Look at some other things. I was looking at lavalier mics because I had found some like cheap at like a Goodwill. I bought it and I lost it after like a week of having it. So I was just depressed. I was trying to see what I could do with that. But now that I figure out everything, I'm perfectly fine. At least I know what I need. That's so good. I'm a little bit tired because my sleep schedule has been messed up for a little while. I've uh I've just been messing up. Today I woke up. Well, it's odd to call what I have done like waking up. It's just like going to sleep and then waking up and then staying up for a little bit and then going to sleep and then waking up. So, in the past 24 hours, I've probably gotten around I would say optimistically, I've probably gotten like 6 hours, 6 or 7 hours, and that sounds like a okay amount, like average, but it's optimistic. And even then, if I sleep that amount of time, it's not uh, it's not good for me. I don't like. I don't. It's not enough sleep. The quality isn't there. So I might need to sleep like 9 hours maybe, even 10 sometimes. That sounds crazy for some people because some people can't even get like a couple hours in. I'm in a house with my mom, my aunt, and both of them have problems sleeping. Me, I don't have a problem sleeping. Like I could probably go to sleep right now if I wanted to. But the thing is, I'm choosing not to because I just don't feel like it. I don't feel like going to sleep. I would guess it's like insomniac by choice almost. And that sounds dumb. And it is dumb inherently what I'm trying to say. It's just I still want to do stuff. So I don't want to go to sleep now. Even though I could probably go to sleep if I turn off all the lights and close my eyes for 5 minutes. I'm getting real comfy. If I keep on going like this, I might fall asleep. That would be bad for the recording. Good luck for you. I am sitting up a little bit more. My back is straight and ready, and I am focused at this pitch black screen I'm at. You know, I figured out that I can't really look at my screen in the way of interaction with it. I can't look something up or look at something on the store without being able to continue the conversation. I'm sure you could tell that I have been a little bit distracted because I have had to look some stuff up and figure out some things. The whole works. And it sucks for quality wise, content wise, or whatever. Yeah. It's kind of funny though. In the like videos I've done in the past, it's more of a funny funniness coming from external parts in order to emphasize some wacky joke that was come up with. So inherently, like the funny moments weren't always driven from the actual scenarios. So I want to try and emphasize myself more in videos to try and show off my cool personality. And that's dumb. I know. It sounds stupid. But I want to show people I'm cool. And it makes me feel good if people think I'm cool. Straight up human biology. We used to be in like packs of like 100 people. Or tribes, even. I'm sure there's somebody out there that was the most popular guy in the village. Whatever reason, that being how cool he is at like archery or how handsome they are. Me, I think my only option is to be funny or not normal because normal people aren't interesting. Not that I try and put up a front of being a weird person. I've just been told that I am not very normal in certain circumstances. I'm sure you could see that in some ways of how I talk or how I go about doing things. Because at one point, I can be like this, where I say like, and that, and this. But then I try and use bigger words. And I don't do that out of the fact of trying to sound smart. I just do it because it's a part of my vocabulary. Because I just say that stuff with my friends. And I usually get clowned on for saying stuff like that. And it's fine because it's funny. It's just what I do. I go out of my way to over explain things. Not because I know it's going to make people laugh, or I say a joke that I know won't make anybody laugh. But if nobody laughs at it, it makes it funny to me. So then I laugh. And so I can still have a good time with people without having to make them laugh. I feel like that's a skill that you can learn that's good. A good positive. Because you might not be the funniest person, but I feel if you learn to laugh at yourself and your own jokes, it's I feel that I feel that's a good direction for improvement of just your character. Because worrying about what people think about your jokes or how they turn out is dumb. Even though I have something similar with how I am viewed as a person, I wouldn't say in that aspect I care much about it. I'll just say a joke. Oh, it doesn't land. Uh, oh well. I might laugh because it doesn't land like super hard. Like somebody even like makes a sound of disgust from the joke. Like it was such a bad joke that they had to vocally say how bad it was. And I think that just puts a smile on my face because it's funny. It's a funny thing. I understand why podcasts have uh more than one person 90% of the time. Since it's so hard to keep a conversation going when you're by yourself. Two brains are better than one. You got so many different topics to pick from. It ruins, like if a person's not knowledgeable about a lot of subjects, it and they're just talking by themselves, I am sure to you that they are probably not going to be very popular podcast wise because most of them are popular. Well, I mean, the ones with multiple people are the ones that get most of the listens. Now, there's only been one case where I have listened to a podcast with one person, or actually two. There's been two cases. One, the person was a very hilarious YouTuber, and the second was uh just a very soft spoken, kind of knowledge based guy. I think his name was like Joe Pereira. It was like a character made by a person. But the way that they talk about things and the way that their voice is, it is so inherently calming and soothing and entertaining that you just don't want to press pause. And I think that's good. It's cool that you can show that you by yourself can make a thing like that, like a podcast, and talk for an hour long about whatever you want. It's cool. I like it. It's cool to talk about things too, because I get to air out some ideas or thoughts or issues I have with everything. I can complain all I want about everything, and it's cool. I would say let's have a little bit more positivity because I've started this out with like self improvement stuff, but it wasn't the best tone to talk about this because I feel like I need to refreshen stuff. Maybe be a little bit more positive to renew the attitude. I uh I really enjoy streaming. It's a fun thing to do on the side when I'm playing games because I know that somebody's watching and enjoying. I was lucky enough over like a year ago. I've always had at least like one person watching. I'm not sure if it's the same person, but 90% of the time when I stream, there is one person that always like gets on, and that makes me happy from the bottom of my heart. It makes me so happy because it shows my effort that I have put into streaming, which I had put in a lot of effort, like 6 months of streaming over. I think a total amount of hours has to be like 300, 400 hours in about a year time frame where 6 months of that was actual streaming and the other half was just me giving up about that. There was a point where I streamed, I think, 16 hours. It was when I woke up, started streaming. I started doing Destiny stuff like crazy, and then it was Dark Souls 3, and then I changed it to Destiny 2. I played Destiny 2 for 10 hours. I don't know how because I haven't played that game in I think 3 years at this point. It's been a long time. It's it's a neat game, and I heard that their last DLC came out. They're probably gonna do number 3, and I probably will get it because at least it will be a new starting point for people. Because Destiny 2 is so big, like content wise. They've had to delete older expansions, and that sucks. That sucks. But if they didn't delete it, then it would just cause uh everybody to have a 400, 500 gigabyte game probably. Because I know the last time I played the game, they started implementing that feature and the game was still 100 gigs. So if they had that, it probably would have been like 200 gigs or 250 maybe. The way that they do their DLC is kind of stupid. They download the content from the DLC into the game, and then they just set up the DLC as like a key to unlock it, like a 5 megabyte DLC that will just give you access to the expansion. And I don't necessarily like that because even though you could say that it makes more sense because it's an MMO and that is built in to the game system, I would just say because a it's expansions. I feel like the people who paid for them should be able to decide if they just want that content on there or not, so that they can free up space. If I don't have one expansion, then and I want to buy another, but I don't want to play the other one, why should I have to? Why should it take up more space? Because the other one I don't want to play is on there. I don't like that. It's dumb. What I am looking forward to though is 2 days from now, the Elden Ring DLC will come out, and that is going to be fun as hell. Because I know exactly what I'm going to do. I am going to stream so much. I'm probably gonna try and do 24 hours, like actually. And it sounds stupid, and I know I should be focusing on other important things, But the idea of doing a 24-hour Elden Ring stream sounds too tempting for me to ignore. It's I feel like it would at least give me some viewers and set me on the right track of stuff. And now I know that I probably I'm like 90% sure that I won't be able to make it. It would still be a fun idea. A cool concept. But the DLC is pretty cool. I'm excited for what they've shown, like screenshot wise. Uh, because the reviews have been like tens. That's cool. And I am just excited. Okay. Mm, mm. Oof. Oh. Hmm. Okay. Sorry. I had to look up some information about what I could do. From what I've gathered, I'll probably have to download the stream and cut it into two parts because that's the only way that I can do a stream, like upload as like an archive for my YouTube. I was just thinking about that fact as I was going through the process of just talking, just learning new stuff. Fantastic. But the stuff that I do learn is usually uh slop. Nothing that has a lot of inherent value, like knowledge wise. Like I can say for sure that I do not know how to survive in the wild, but damn, I can tell you a lot about Chris Chan. Like a lot. And that's not even from like historical like people who try to talk about him. But just bits from YouTubers talking about him or even like short synopsis of things or just mentions of stuff that he's done. And he's a crazy fella, pretty funny, and I think it's a good time. Well, not a good time. I would say that he's pretty tragic overall, and he's also kind of a bad person. But learning about him and things that have happened around him is very interesting. His nickname, I believe, was the man who's the most documented on the internet. I believe that was one of the nicknames. And I would say for sure, if you have entire groups of people cataloging in chronological order events in your internet life, that you're pretty recorded, like pretty big knowledge wise for the internet culture. It's pretty cool what people can come up with on YouTube and the internet. Because I'm sure that, when that guy who first popularized talking about Chris Chan in like a documentary, he was like, oh, this is going to be big. There's been a couple of videos that were about him, that were like short in comparison, because I believe they have like 60 videos. I could be 100% wrong, but each is like an hour long, and that is insane. Also, like, awesome because it's cool. It's cool that there's a lot of information about it. It's something worthy to watch in the grand scheme of things. It gets to you get to see a lot about a specific person, which you don't usually see in everyday life. I mean, the people who are usually recorded like about a lot is either historical figures or serial killers. Usually, like big historical figures or serial killers. Because I'm sure you can see like what I'm talking about here, where they have entire podcasts talking about different killers and serial killers and mysterious deaths. It's good at least something isn't entirely based around death, even though some parts of his life have been extremely uh graphic and hard. It's too uh too intriguing to ignore, even if you do feel bad for him or her. I apologize. Yeah. Besides that, I'm excited for maybe I'm kind of excited for Call of Duty. I'm kind of upset about the storage space, but I know I can't do anything about that because I'm one person, and complaining about it isn't going to do anything to fix my problem. Today, I woke up at like around 9 p.m. after like waking up at like 2 or 4. I woke up at 4. Uh, did some chores. Uh, went downstairs. Waited like 20 minutes. Had dinner, spaghetti and meatballs, and then I fell asleep for like 4 hours and woke up at 9. Uh, got on the computer, played with friends until 12:50. I got picked up, went over to Sheets. It's a gas station that also like makes food. Uh, had food there and a milkshake, kind of. It was pretty good. And then that's it. I came back home. The door was locked, so I had to go in through the garage. But ain't nobody gonna stop me from getting to my bed. Got home, watched YouTube, and hung out. Just learning about stuff and thinking about things. The reason why I got spurred to make this episode is I was watching a video by Jay Schlatt. Uh, he has a different channel that's kind of harkens back to older YouTubers where they would play Call of Duty and have gameplay in the background as they talk about different issues or give advice to people. And he would do the same uh, every once in a while, though. He's very inconsistent in that aspect because he's a very busy person. Uh, Back to the point. I was watching a YouTube video. The connection was pretty bad, but it had Mr. Beast and him talking about different solutions. And one of the things that stuck with me while they were talking was the fact of when they were young, they wanted to be YouTubers. And, you know, the more time you put into it, the more likely it will be for you to be more successful in it. And, that's kind of sounds stupid, like it's obvious, but, you know, people tend to give up, or I tend to give up when I don't see stuff going my way in the time frame that I wanted. And I understand that this is a completely messed up way of thinking. It's always been like this, I would say. And I want to do something to change it up because I feel like I could, like, the type of motivation and stuff I want to do. I feel like I could maybe actually keep up for once. I feel it will be a good experience for me to at least try. Yeah. So I hope that I can continue this well into whatever I can think of. I've been playing a lot of I've been playing tactical game Midnight Suns. It's pretty good. That's probably what the gameplay I'm gonna put onto this is gonna be. So expect me not to be inherently good at the game, because sometimes it's whack and I get fucked up, so I have to restart the encounter. But it's fine. I've been doing that, playing PC games every once in a while, but usually I had Midnight Suns. I've been playing that a bit. Just playing that, listening to podcasts, playing Street Fighter 6 because I had gotten that because it was on sale. Yippee! It's a good game, but I'm very bad because I haven't been really into those types of fighting games before. I've usually played the Brawlhalla type video game. And I know that sounds dumb to say the Brawlhalla type video game. It would probably be more akin to Smash Bros. That type of aspect where you can have certain items that fall down, and the platforms are a lot larger, and it's a variety of characters with different move sets. Similar to the rivals of Aether or Multiverses, whatever you can think of. I would say that uh, that is my type of jam. Peanut butter jelly sandwich. Because it's a bit more fast paced than that, and the percentages just are better for me. Because I feel like the matches can be longer. For Street Fighter, I get hit like 20 times, I'm dead. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you realize how fast those people attack and all the different moves that you can do and the combos, it really is not a lot of time. Because sometimes it will take like 20 seconds and you're dead. That's all it takes. And that sucks. But I want to get better. And I did manage to pull a victory out of somewhere against a person online, which is a huge feat for me because I have barely won any of those types of fighting games online because the crowds around there are higher skilled a lot more than other video game genres. You could say in Call of Duty, yeah, you have the, tip one top 1% where they like slide cancels, has 100% accuracy and all that. But because of the like large amount of people that play that, there's a wider range of skill uh for people to start out with. It goes from like worst people to the best. But for fighting games, I feel like the people who like that type of game, they're gonna be already experienced in that area. So if you get into Street Fighter 6 with plenty of like fighting experience in Street Fighter 5, 4, 3, you're gonna stomp whoever is a new player to the series. Even though they did try to stop that from happening with training grounds and their story mode, I can definitely see it happening to people because it's happened to me a lot. Because I lost like 6 or 7, actually I think it was 8 times to a person, like full rounds where it's two knockouts and you're done. But then I won once, and I played like a couple more times, and they left after they won 11 times, and I only won once. But that just shows like the difference between game communities. I know if I got on Brawlhalla, I would still get stopped, but at least I would have a fighting chance. For those closer games, fighting games like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. Uh, there's the DC stuff. I forgot what it's called. Injustice. That's what it's called. Injustice, even that sort of thing. I would say that it's because of the way the joysticks are and the combos needed and the different skill systems in it. I feel like those are harder to learn than something like Smash Bros or Brawlhalla. The barrier to entry for the game is a lot like a lot lower than compared to Street Fighter. And that sounds weird from me because League of Legends, it doesn't really have a low barrier to entry. Like it takes a long time to understand some of the mechanics In depth. I don't know why I added a little Lee on there. Uh it's a fun game. I want to play it again soon actually. I might try and stream it, maybe even record it. But I want to play it with a friend of mine because I feel like it'd be a good experience. Get to have a clip of him raging. But I'll probably have to censor it because of how he is. It's funny though. It'll be a good time. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Bye. Have a good night or a good day, a good evening. Bye.